Nostalgia is a complex, bittersweet emotion defined as a sentimental yearning or an affectionate longing for a former time, place, or situation in one's life. It blends feelings of happiness for fond memories with a slight sadness or sense of loss, because those moments cannot be relived. Or can they? With the recent Black Ops ports and the Black Flag resynched game having such high player bases and an incredible amount of praise for all three games, players are starting to realize that maybe the state and conditions of gamings that we have become accustomed to today might not what we believe to be true. The term wearing rose-tinted glasses comes up a lot in conversations of nostalgia, and perfect examples being the original Black Ops 2 games. The saying refers to when you see things in an overly optimistic or unrealistic way, causing people to focus entirely on the positive aspects of a situation or the past, ignoring the harsh realities or flaws. In terms of COD, some people say, how can today's games not be better than the old? Better graphics, more ways to customize to your own playstyle, with more things to do, unlock, and learn. And of course, who can't love that yummy cosmetic store? However, with the new ports not changing a thing about the game, just bringing them over to the 4th and 5th disciples of Sony, metaphorically speaking, those rose-tinted glasses might have never had a tint to begin with. People always say in regards of nostalgia that the games weren't ever actually better back then, but you, as a human being, was happier overall, which I can say is partly true. See, these games came out when I was a kid. No bills, no economy that wants to bend me over a Ford Fusion.
Get out the car, spread your butt cheeks.
Just pure childhood bliss of ignorance. Yeah, it was a great time back then, and maybe my personal experience was heightened by how I felt back when I was a kid, but at the same time, it didn't make the game go from a 6 out of 10 to a magical 8.5 out of 10. You know, if I were to go back to the old games I used to play years ago and play them now, just to realize how dog shit it's become in comparison to today's games, stay with me here, I hope you understand, but I probably would just have pretty much dropped that game back then anyways, because it was probably shit back then too. Like, these people that say stuff like this act like we were locked into one singular game back then. You know, everyone has their own personal experiences, man. Yeah, you might think BO2 is shit, but that's because your only experience with it is you biting the pill on the top floor of Hijack because your older brother wanted to bring his own ego up in a 1v1. These rose-tinted glasses and stipulation of life was better back then, so the games were better, does not hold up in this argument. Because what we are seeing now, not just the Black Ops ports or the Assassin's Creed resynced, but just damn near every single remake, remaster, port, reimagining, or whatever the fuck you want to title it as, always slaps. They know they caught their lightning in a bottle, and not trying to start throwing shade at game companies, but they're smart enough to realize that remaking a 10-year-old hit is hell of a lot easier than making a whole new project just for that project to run the risk of flopping. The pattern starting to emerge is comfortability. The people aren't trying to take a risk on a game anymore, especially not with these new prices, especially with how new games come out nowadays. People aren't willing to put their faith in new projects anymore, or more accurately, they don't want to put their faith in these companies anymore. Not after how some of them have acted in the recent past. So why not go back to what you already know? Why run the risk of getting slapped in the face with a used nut rag that these companies call a finished product and expect you to be happy with? No one trusts the new no more, and people are fine with their comfortability. Why change something if it works? Like, for example, Call of Duty. Sorry, I don't mean to turn this into a Call of Duty discussion video. It's just the game I've been playing the most recently, and it aligns really well with the situations I'm talking about. Like, going back to the comparison of the old to the new. The pick 10 system compared to the free reign created class that we have now. With the old system, you actually have to be smart, picking and choosing what is the most valuable with your class, leading to unique game styles, same guns with complete different class setups, not creating a certain meta to form around any specific gun, class, or even playstyle. Everything can be played and actually enjoyed. Or instead we have the latter of filling every possible class option up to the max and having a Punisher tier loadout. Or how about the fact that the customization is just so much more tame compared to what we have now. You know, I never really understood the saying, wanting to feel like I'm on a battlefield while playing COD, but now that I'm coming back to the old, yeah, I completely understand where they're coming from. Yeah, I get it. Actual soldiers potentially blending into their environment. Uniformed fighters to actually make it feel more like a war between two sides, instead of the alternative of some like fucking Medusa or something coming around the corner and freezing me with their Blades of Chaos weapon skin like it's Valorant. Shit makes me feel like I'm in 3 different games at once. In terms of Call of Duty, they have just straight up lost the plot, but we all know that by now, so I'll stop dragging onto the Call of Duty segment so we can move on. Now, as much as I'm loving these ports and the resurgence of the old COD titles, we gotta start looking at some of the more negative parts of remasters in the internet's opinion, or rather, the oversaturation of them, I should say. And to pose the question, are there too many games being remastered? Now, to answer that question in the short term, I don't think so, no. However, this is much more of a complicated question than to just give a simple yes or no. And here's why. A big example I can give on why people say remasters are becoming oversaturated or overbloated are The Last of Us remasters.
Holy shit. I'm gonna be a dad.
There is 2 original experiences in this stunning franchise, along with a DLC attached to one of the installments. Now, can you tell me how many actual games are in this franchise? There's 6 games! 6 $70 installments for 2 stories! Yeah, I can admit, this is more of a Sony problem. More accurately.
What do you say fuck me for?
Because Sony, you are easily the most unapologetically greedy and anti-consumer based company of the 2020s so far. And that's a high bar to clear these days, as we all know from the other videos on this channel. Check those out. But yes, Sony could have easily just ported over The Last of Us and make it backwards compatible like Xbox does with 95% of their games. And if for some reason you don't believe me on that fact, then well...
We at Xbox are happy to announce that we are planning on rolling out the disc-to-digital feature for Xbox later this month in August. Yes! This is going to be huge for players on Xbox. Being able to take your physical game and add it permanently to your digital library is awesome. It'll be so convenient to just insert the disc the first time and not have to worry about ever putting it in again to play. Yes, we're excited too. In addition to the disc to digital feature, in the following months, we're also bringing back all original Xbox and Xbox 360 games for backwards compatibility for those who are subscribed to Game Pass on a rolling basis.
We wouldn't have such bloat like we do now, but of course, is Sony ever not going to take the opportunity to get more money out of their consumers? Like I stated previously, these games that they remaster, of course they're going to be great titles. They wouldn't remake it for no reason. So more of what we already know we love is never going to be a bad thing. Hell, they've remastered God of War plenty of times, and now are going to do it again. And you can bet your ass I'm going to be in line for it. So all in all, the case of remasters being bloated It's really just Sony doing Sony things. I promise you, Sony, your day is coming. Like, legit, most of these examples are just Sony exclusives, just pumping out more and more and more shit to fucking get every single last penny and dime. But for the original question, is the old better than the new? Of course, it's all just speculation and personal bias at the end of the day, but conversations like these really makes you sit and think, man, what the hell are they doing over there? I think that'll be all for this video. If I keep going anymore, I'm probably gonna start repeating myself the more I keep rambling. So thank you so much for sticking around to this point of the video. It means the absolute world to me that you are here giving your support and giving this video a chance. I will have a new video coming out very soon. The EA video that you saw the thumbnail for earlier in the video actually. If it's not already out by the time you're watching this, then it will be out very, very soon. No at the end of the video gameplay or funny moments in this one because, I don't know, what am I supposed to do? Cut commentary on Black Ops 2 free-for-all? But seriously, thank you again for the support on this video and the channel in general, and I'll see you in the next one.
Legends never die, we've been going every night. I've been feeling way too blessed, but with Lex I'm never stressed. They don't know just what we do, we've been out here with the crew. They don't know just how we live, think we got too much to give. I've been going in and going in.